Black Watch. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. Like this video now, because you're gonna like it. So you might as well just do it ahead of time, so you can get caught up in what I'm about to say and not have to worry about all those random responsibilities afterwards. Just go ahead and like it now. Have you ever wondered why there's angry black women? Or angry black men? Hell, even angry black children. Have you ever wondered why there's angry black people? Now, this is not a trick question. And if you're black, then you probably don't have to, you have been excused from this session. You are excused from taking this dose. But I'd really like to know from anybody who is not a black American. Do you know why there's angry black women? Do you know why there's angry black men and angry black children? Or, I'm gonna flip it. I'm gonna flip it. Because you ain't never heard of an angry Latino, an angry Asian, an angry Native American, an angry Arab. Now, we have heard of angry white people. I mean, like those animals that invaded the Capitol last week after they were invited there by their president. Those were angry white people. And I've met a few angry white people in my time. Probably descendants of people who enslaved my ancestors. I've never really figured out why you could be angry and be of an oppressive race. I mean, we gave you a 400-year head start. Okay? 400 years. For you to sit up here and be angry now, don't be angry at us. We didn't hold you back. Somebody else held you back that looked like you. You ain't never heard of a black person holding a white person back from prosperity. But when we talk about angry black people, angry black women, angry black men, angry black children, that had to come from somewhere. Because you don't hear about anybody else ever being called angry. And why is that? I mean, with the Black Watch, I can look at things from a black perspective. I can sometimes understand the perspective of another ethnicity. But I can't understand how we have been labeled as angry black people, and nobody else has ever been labeled that. And I've seen rage all across the color charts, all across the ethnic charts. I've seen anger. I've seen outrageous rage. That wasn't a real good segue there. But yeah, so I wonder, how is it that we are labeled as angry black people and nobody else is labeled as that? I mean, it goes back years and years and years before I got here, I'm sure. We've not just been labeled angry black people since I've been here. Unfortunately, my generation is responsible for a lot of good shit. But coming up with being angry happened way before me. And my generation might be one of the best generations, even though we've encountered racism, oppression, and all types of things. We probably have benefited pretty well, considering our anger versus, say, our mother's anger or our grandmother's anger or our father's anger or our grandfather's anger. And we don't even want to talk about our great-grandfathers and great-grandmothers because they were in shackles. That would make me angry. You know, and when you hear about angry black people, you know, there's always something else they throw on to it, you know. Like, if we're angry, like we're hostile, we're mad, we're defiant, we're combative. Why? Why are we all of these things? Could it be that this is something that is ingrained in us from 246 years of free labor, from 155 years now of oppressive behavior by white, racist America? I mean, it is what it is at this point, and we're going to get through it, and we're going to get to the other side. See, when people say I'm complaining out here, you know, you just complaining. You always complaining. I'm not complaining. I'm explaining, motherfucker. And right now, I'm not even explaining. I'm asking a question. And for them chocolate-covered white people and for all them other bigoted white people that's going to look at this, because I'm going to post it right in their face. I need y'all to tell me, where did the term angry white people, or I'm sorry, angry black people come from? There is no coined phrase for angry white people. Y'all just do y'all thing and it's looked at as appropriate. I mean, there's motherfuckers really out here still trying to justify what happened at the Capitol building last week as being American. I'm like, damn, that really is American? That's what it is to be a patriot? Wow. We've been doing this shit the wrong way all these times. Come on, black folks. What we doing? So, the name is always brought about after we've been called something else. You know, I mean, children go to school and he's an angry black child. Well, they might not even say black. They might just say he's an angry child. I'm sure some places say black. Some places say colored. Some places say nigger. But what it is, to me, when they say that and they don't look at what made that child get there, just like they don't look to see what made that woman get there, what made that man get there. Because it's not just what just happened to them, it's what's happened since we've been on this soil. And I'm only going with documented. See, I got to get to the point where I have to stop saying that because, like I said, I know that there was black people here before 1619, but there's no real documentation. And as far as I'm concerned, if nobody's going to talk about that in its full totality, there's no need of me breaking it up to when we got here. So if we document it at 1619, I'm going to run with 1619. And the things that happened to black Americans before we were Americans, if that didn't make us angry, I don't know what would. But we still persevere in spite of. If the 155 years of oppression have not made us angry, I don't know what would. Now, when people just want to categorize us as being angry black people, they looking at it on the surface. They looking on some superficial bullshit, looking at something that possibly just happened. Just happened. Not long ago. Recent events. Could have just happened right then. what you got to do is you got to look deeper to that particular event that brought you to call that person or to think that person is an angry black individual. You got to think of their history. You got to think of their heritage. You got to think of their ancestry. Just like you like to think of yours. You ever notice that, white Americans love to salute being American. They love wearing the red, white, and blue colors. The women, they get red, white, and blue bikinis, and guys will have red, white, and blue, Bermuda shorts on, and red, white, and blue baseball. Hey, this is all defacing the flag. You ain't supposed to be making none of that shit out the flag. But they don't never say nothing about that. Even when you drape a flag around your shoulders. I know they do it in the Olympics, but ain't nobody else supposed to do that shit. Because goddamn well that flag hits the ground, and the flag hits the ground, you're supposed to burn it. And don't nobody burn their flags. But white people love to salute America. Even in that state of rage last week, when all those angry white people went to the Capitol building, and the 3 black ones, I know there was 3 black ones. There was some Kenyan dude and the dude with the bad haircut, and then I think there was another one there. I didn't see any black women. That's one thing that they haven't come up with. I ain't seen no pictures of no black women there. And that's a good thing. They didn't need to be out there in that melee, in that fracas. And the Kenyan guy, he probably on his way back to Africa. And the other one with the haircut, I hope he's on his way to a barbershop. And then I can't remember the other. There's a third one. There's a third one that I saw. He looked right into the camera, too. His eyes was all bugged out, and he looked all into the camera and shit. And I'm like, oh, yeah, you definitely gonna get caught. They got facial recognition on your ass like a motherfucker. So all 3 of them have been identified. They ain't identified all the mongrels, but they identified the 3 Negroes that was in the damn bunch. You see how it is? Y'all just got here and they know exactly who you are, whether you got papers or not. Yesterday I saw that it was a Supreme Court justice from New York. His son was there. His son was there. A Supreme Court justice's son. Come on, man. How you raise that boy to be something like that? He's the one that had the big shield, the big police shield. Where you get that police shield from? Your daddy's a Supreme Court justice. I know you know some high-level police, and you probably know some high-level police's kids. So how many other people were from New York with him? Supreme Court, the highest courts in the land, out of New York. One of their offspring over in that fracas. In that party that Donald Trump no-showed to. He invited all them folks. Invited them. And no-showed on them. And, there's been politicians. There's been law enforcement. The offspring now of Supreme Court justices. How come they're not being deemed as angry white people? But if I have a bad day on the job and I say, fuck you motherfuckers for treating me like you treat me, now I'm an angry black man. Because you're looking at it from the surface. You're looking at it from me having a bad day at work. You're not looking at the 246 years worth of bad days at work. You're not looking at the 155 years of bad days of work. You're just looking at that one little instance. It's why we've become so resilient. It's why we've persevered. It's basically why we're not wild animals out here killing every single Caucasian individual we encounter. Black people don't have that in their hearts to do things like that. Oh, we got some killers out here, no doubt. But your quintessential black man ain't on that shit. And where we at now, if we really out here trying to get it, where we at now, we want to be restored. We want our redress. We want our recompense. We don't give a fuck about what y'all thinking about. We need the United States government to handle business. We don't want no marching. We don't want no concerts. We don't want no virtual events. We don't want no buildings named after us. We don't need none of that shit. recompense. Do that or don't do nothing. And now that they're talking about reparations, well, Sheila Jackson Lee brought the shit up in the middle of this bullshit. One of the biggest distractions ever going on, and she wants to start talking about reparations. Now, wait till all that shit passes. Wait till after the inauguration. Wait till after Joe gets in there. Don't be doing this shit when it's all in limbo. Get people all hot and bothered, all lathered up, and then by the time Joe gets in there, y'all done having a conversation. No, we need to have the conversation. And if we're going to have the conversation the right way, let's have it in its totality. Let's not break it all up and shit like we do these videos on YouTube and shit. Let's have a full discussion. Don't just come out because you need a little airtime. So yeah, I'm looking at why we get called that, how nobody else is called that, and how do we get rid of that term? We can't just wish it away. Because see, that's what they did with nigger. They tried to wish nigger away. Then black people started using it to empower themselves, and it's a term of endearment for a lot of people. I know there's many people that still don't use the word, they still don't use the phrase. I understand. I get it. But they weaponized the word. We embraced it. We turned it around and flipped it. We made a bad thing good, like we do so many motherfucking things in this country. We make a lot of bad shit good in this country. The one thing you're not gonna make good is a bad white person. A white supremacist. A bigot. Maybe a racist. You're not gonna do that. You're not gonna flip them. We can flip a lot of shit, but we can't flip that. You can't flip that kind of hate. I know people say you can beat the hate out of people. No, you can't. You just got some bruised up ass motherfuckers. That's all you got. You can't beat the hate out of motherfuckers. So why try? Why try? It's the Black Watch. I'm excitable. I'm enthusiastic. I'm intense. A lot of times I'm called angry, when I'm quite the opposite. I really don't have anything to be angry about on the surface. And most of these motherfuckers out here that call me that will never know the depths of me. They'll get what they get right here, and I'm gonna give them that. Because I'm like David Banner. Not the rapper, not the activist, the Incredible Hulk. You wouldn't like me if I was angry. You wouldn't like me. Please subscribe to the channel. We need them subs as we move on, move upward. Hopefully you've liked this video already, because if you was here at the beginning, I asked you to hit the like. Hopefully you did that. If not, you're doing it now. And as you go about your way, if you are not a Black American and you viewing this, ask yourself, ask your other friends who are not Black, where they think the term angry Black people came from. Angry Black woman, angry Black man. Hell, they made movies about the shit. Diary of a Mad Black Woman. Tyler Perry did that. Mad Black Woman. And he had his whole plot around that. And I understood that. But what I want to understand is why we're called that by white people or any other ethnicity who comes in and tries to jump on the white wagon. Because that's what they do. People come from other countries and call us nigger. They don't even know what nigger is, but they call us nigger because that is a derogative term for Black people. They could be from somewhere else and totally come over here and call us nigger. But you'll never see nobody else use no other term for nobody else. Nigga is universal. Universal. Everybody knows that is a degrading term. But what's really degrading is to be called angry and black. I don't mind if you call me black, but don't call me an angry black man. You don't know me. And like I said, you wouldn't like me if I was angry. One love.